Hello Twitch, welcome everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Happy Sunday. Hopefully everyone's wrapping up a lovely weekend. Forgot one thing I gotta do over here. One quick second. All set there now. Okay, so how is everyone tonight? Let me check on one other thing here. Alright. Cool. That's working. Did that work on my commands? It did. Nice. Awesome. That makes my life a lot easier if I don't have to turn those timers on and off all the time. Start off with a bit of coffee. Then we'll get into immersion circulator. We've got our beef short ribs that I threw in with a little bit of butter, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Worcestershire, a shake of garlic and onion powder, some salt, pepper, and MSG, a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there. I don't know if I just repeated myself, but that's in there. Is there anything else that I threw in there along with those? I think that's it. And so that's what we got going on in there. We've obviously got a little bit of a sauce forming from the liquid from the meat and all that. What's going to happen is I'm going to do the pie crust. When I'm done with the pie crust, we'll get in with the beef. We're going to take it out of this in about 30-45 minutes, an hour, and separate the meat from the juices. The juices I'm going to turn into a sauce, maybe get a roux going, and thicken them up a little bit. We'll see. I don't know how much juice we got here to work with. We do have wine to sort of supplement things, but I do want to sort of try and keep the beef separate from the wine. So I don't know if I want to put that in the sauce tonight. The beef then separately dried off is going to be going into the oven and roasted at high heat. Get a nice crust going on it. While we're working on the sauce. While we're working on the lemon meringue. Today being National Lemon Meringue Pie Day. Wow, those are firing off right as people join in the room. I don't know if that's how I want them going. Maybe calling out people that don't want to be called out. In fact, I think I might turn that off for tonight again. We may skip the alerts once again here. Turn that off now so that it's just off. It's not saying hello to anyone anymore. Hello, Falcon. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome in, Neil. Neil Rums, how we doing this evening? Thank you for that raid. What were we creating tonight? Welcome in, anyone that's new in. Hi, I'm Jason. I cook here on Twitch 3 nights a week. Tonight we're celebrating National Lemon Meringue Pie Day tonight. Yeah, words, Jason. We're just getting going here. My mouth isn't quite running right. So we're doing lemon meringue pie tonight, and I've also got short ribs back here in my emergency circulator. So we'll be doing some mashed potatoes, short ribs, making gravy for those. I got some Merlot, and starting off with a little coffee. Uh-oh. Hope it's not a bad storm. Any monsters in particular, or just... I know you do a whole bunch of them, and I don't know if you're working on your normal stuff or something different. Any art fans out there, give Neil Realms a follow there. Lovely creator. I've gone way over my weight. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just pouring water into this for some reason. And thank you for that follow, Hamish. The Hamish. Crab monster. I don't know. I still... Even now, knowing that, you know, you're probably going to survive it, still afraid of those chompers those things got. I am doing lovely, Hamash. I don't know if I'm going to wait for all of this coffee to extract. It's going to be more than I need for my cup. I'm going to be starting off with playing with lemons here, and oh no, I'm not. I'm going to be starting getting dough here to go. I need to crust together first. I think we'll call it there. Cheers, folks. Hope you're all having a lovely Sunday. Happy you decided to join me. Okay. Let's make ourselves some pie dough. You know, let's use pastry flour since I'm so low on regular flour. Oh, hey, I'm just as low on pastry flour, too. Oh, I do have a nice wheat that I should be using for that. Oh, and yeah, I should get rid of this junk. This is going to be horrible now. Got like month-old popcorn on the pantry rack. Approximately 2 cups. Salt, sugar. First battle already? Oh wow, we got all sorts of people in Stream Raiders tonight. Welcome in, everyone. Why, hello there, everyone. little swirl. Let's give our first battle a shot here. I think we got this one. Give ourselves a haste spell. One kill, one assist, one victory. Now this is the main one we've been working towards this entire map here. But we'll need another set of people out on the end here towards all of this loveliness. And then some of us are going to come back for this thingy. Maybe helpers, maybe herders. But I think I need some more coffee. And I'm going to go back to doing my pastry shell here now that we're ready with the Stream Raiders. Are you kidding me? New York Times. I am not doing that. I'm following a New York Times recipe for the dough here, at least for the ratio. And they've got it half with salted butter and half with unsalted butter. I don't know, maybe it makes a little bit more sense in an international setting. But, yeah, I'm just gonna add another pinch of salt. Well, let's see, we need to do a little math here. Unfortunately, I hate math. That's so boring. Coffee is a real necessity in life. I know my mother would probably not agree with me, but So I'm just cutting all of this flour into or cutting all of this butter into all the flour. Trying to break it all down until it's all small little clumps. Hey Blue Moon, welcome in. How you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm working on getting that back. I know you're not a huge fan. I changed how it worked and broke it. And I had it working earlier in the beginning of the stream tonight, but it's now announcing everyone as they come into the room whether they say anything in chat or not, which I don't want to be calling out lurkers. I used to always do this by hand, and it's taken me a little bit longer this way, but I've gotten to really like using this over using my hand because my hand just melts that butter too much. I'm doing pretty good tonight, Blue Moon. Days just keep rolling by here. Seems like this year is just flying by. Sort of feel like I'm just going through the motions here. Yep, it's National Lemon Meringue Pie Day. Okay, that's pretty well mixed now. Get ourselves a little cold, just so we can get it tap water. Just a little bit there. See, it's sticking to my hand again. My hand's just too warm for that butter. Sort of debating how I want to do this is why I'm washing my hands over and over here. Come on, Scaly, you can do it. I'm going to wrap these up into 2 packages here, because Jason doesn't read ahead and makes 2 crusts when he only needs 1. Nice guess. Blue Moon there. So we now have 2 pie crusts that just need to rest in the fridge for a little bit. Cool down that butter as much as possible. Let what little work we did to the flour work itself out. I'm going to give it a short rest here. This is one of those things in baking where your product is likely going to be better the longer you let this rest here. Some people let this rest overnight. So, recipe here recommends 4 hours. On occasion. I made one on Wednesday, Falcon. It was part of the ingredient challenge. I had the challenge of using Cholula hot sauce in my dinner and dessert on Wednesday. So I did not quite a flourless cake. I think it had like 1/3 of a cup of flour in there. Wasn't bad. Still have some of it. Sort of a novelty thing, as I would put it. Wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. The hot sauce was very prevalent there, as was the cayenne in the background, giving a little bit of lasting heat and builds up as you eat it. Do I really want that in a chocolate cake? No. Was it bad? No. Not car guy. Oh, there's plenty of good chocolate cakes out there. There's a great one in my college baking book, which is a flourless chocolate cake. If you want them to be really like soft, fudgy, brownie-like, just make cakey brownies. You got a cake. ravioli on the dinner menu still. That ain't supposed to be there. And also when I scratched my face there, I realized that I need to shave and I haven't shaven. Let me fix this menu. Let me fix the dinner command. Yeah, that should be a little bit better. Let's try that again. Why, hello there. I noticed someone else using your emotes earlier. I think you have a fan in here somewhere if they're still lurking around. So eggs, lemon, hey Falcon. Take the labels off, give these a rinse, because we need some zest here to start. Wow, you're all out of place. It's a little better. Okay, let's look at the right recipe here. Hey, Maz. Saw someone, I don't know if it was a TikTok or where I saw it. It was a short little video of someone putting their lemons on a drill and just running them across. Zesting plain. And I was just sitting there thinking, oh, that's got to be so bitter. They're going to get so much pith in with that. Had to be some, like, dive bar or something to be doing that. It's more than the city of lemon goes with everything than lemon. It's lemon itself is rather innocuous. Which is even more strange is that it's actually basic to our bodies. Like after our bodies process lemon juice, it has a basic effect on our body, not acidic. There you go, Blue Moon. Just killing that scramble tonight. Not so much, Namas. This is the same playlist. This is still a jazz song. This is just sort of, I don't know, creepy Inspector P.I., I guess. I mean, it's not like I listen to this. I mean, I listen to it normally here on stream. It's not like I normally listen to this music, so I sort of have to go out of my way to build the playlists for these. And yeah, we can dish that one off this list. I'm cool with that. Yeah, this one's called Thief in Disguise. It just sort of fits that. And we go into another one that's much the same. Let's try this. But I appreciate commentary on music. I mean, I just have to sort of guess. I mean, it's sort of what catches my ear in the first like 10 seconds. Maybe I'll skip through the track to see if it changes or something like that drastically. But that's about all the screening I get before I give it a shot with you. Going with a coarse strainer here for the lemons. We just really want to keep the seeds out and anything too huge. And I'm guessing it's probably not DMCA free. I don't have to worry about DMCA with this music service. Oh, I should have done this in something different. This is the pan I wanted to use for this. Supposed to have the lemon zest ready to pour into the other egg mixture and then put the whole thing on the stove. So instead I'm going to do it in here and then put it back into the pan. I forgot chives today too. I knew that already, but you're not reminding me, but you're reminding me to tell you. I was planning on buying chives for tonight's dinner. There are no chives for tonight's dinner. Battle. To battle. I think we're going to do Killing Field out here. Uh-oh, they're going after archers. Come on, army. Catch up quick. Save those archers. Victory. 200 gold. Oh yeah, this was the gold map. This is the big map of the level here. McMargo getting the kills. The Hamish helping out with the assist. Hamash? The Hamash? Don't know how to pronounce that. Apologize. Tomio getting that 200 gold. The Hamash getting the scrolls. I think I'm just going to put my flag bearer right here and let everyone else figure out where they want to put their stuff. We'll do that in 30 minutes. Here, chat, catch. I'm still not sure if I'm reading this recipe right. Hey, Entropy. That's Lisa's face. It had food in it at one point. No sweat, Entropy. We'll get you going with that right quick. Food frisbees only. Don't want to chip a tooth. You mean I can't throw it to you on a plate? You're not going to catch your food on your plate? You don't eat like a civilized person? Such a weird measurement on this recipe too. This must be like some weird converted recipe or something. That's tablespoons, not teaspoons. What the heck are you measuring everything out in tablespoons for, you crazy lady? I'm not telling you who the author is. I get to call him crazy. 0.2 entropy. It's so much more accurate. Works so much better. And I've threatened to try and do that. It just doesn't work out for me. There's too many standard recipes. What was I following over here then? Weird. Yeah, I normally like these people's recipes, but this ain't working tonight. Oh, I still need those eggs out for my meringues. I was leaving them out in the first place because I didn't want them cold. Okay, since we're not ready for this now goes in the fridge to hang out and chill for a little bit. And we're going to go back to our premature use of our pastry dough here. And start rolling out our first high shell here. Oh, wow, you gotta stick to everything. It's like you're not even a dough yet. It's like I just mixed you and didn't really fold you and all develop any gluten or anything. Miss Lisa face. Nice. Not sure on that one myself. Blue Moon. Butter's getting too warm. Getting to be too much of a problem. Okay, so there's our crust for our lemon meringue. I'm gonna live with that. Not in love with it. Is it my ugliest crust I've made to date? No. Is it my best? I think probably far from it. Very interesting. I haven't tried this. Obviously, I haven't tried this pastry dough recipe before. It's an all butter one. It's quite thin here. Quite a thin crust on this. So this should freeze up nicely here, because that's the next step, is making sure this is nice and cold. Because I have a chest freezer, I just happen to have room in my regular one. Sort of. Make sure it doesn't touch it. Get rid of the hiccups. Falcon swooping in there and stealing the scramble. Welcome in, Falcon. Hope you're having a lovely end to your weekend. Let's do a little cleanup here. Want to clean up this rolling pin, get this butter off of it. Clean up the counter. Get a couple of these bowls out of the way. doing a sort of relaxed night tonight. I'm trying not to rush myself at all tonight. I normally find myself like rushing myself even though I don't even need to rush myself. Wow, is the stove camera off too? I'm just moving my cameras all over the place lately. How did I get that thing all out of whack? I know I moved this camera around yesterday because I was trying to see the monitor while sitting down, and the camera was in the way of the monitor for me. It slacked down. I had just corrected for the slack rather than making it so I could properly see my monitor. So there's now a tally on the chocolate versus bacon war. So if anyone uses those commands, there's now a running tally going. And there should be a quick overlay for anyone that checks in. And there also should be, another toy or two in there in the channel points list that hasn't been in there lately. Anyone from Mixer Days may appreciate the new Giphy command. It's not quite as good as it was on Mixer, but now I've got it set up so that it'll play photos on. Oh, hey, and the photos showed up there. That was cool. I thought I disabled those. They weren't quite showing up right. And that was a little distorted too, but I can fix that. Almost done cleaning. Almost there. Oh, almost ready for our next battle here. I think it's time we open wine. I'm gonna slam the last of my coffee. Eesh. A little sugar at the bottom of that. Yeah. Yeah. Battle. We shall go to battle. Give haste to as many of us as I can at once here. Victory. That was quick. Of course, with all the help I've got tonight, all you lovely peoples in the chat room tonight. Didn't even have time to wash my wine glass during the battle. Victory. Congrats, McMargo, getting those kills. Tamio getting the assists. The Hamash getting the scroll. Just walking away with the rewards tonight. Oh, do we want to go with the more fun battle? Do we go to the easier route or the harder route here? I think we go the harder route. See how we do here in 30 minutes. outside. Heck is that? Who knows? It's been sitting by the sink for probably a week and a half. How dare you, Blue Moon? So we're doing Ferrari Carano tonight, which is Healdsburg. I do not know if this is the same vineyard, same Ferrari. I believe this is tied to the auto, but I'm not sure if it's tied to the same family that's doing the sparkling wine for Formula One nowadays. I don't know if this is the same company, same branch of the family. Hey, Sarbear, welcome in. Glad to have you. Hello, I'm Jason. I cook here on Twitch 3 nights a week, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Often offering, this isn't necessarily the cheapest wine in Sonoma County, but supermarket wines. This is a 15 to 20 bucker, depending on how you're paying for it. We got a, oh, what do we have for, well, we got an actual cork. Doesn't look laminated and really, maybe vertically laminated. But that's an actual piece of cork there, folks. It's not one of those particle corks. So we quite often have wine here on stream. Sarbear. Tonight we're also celebrating a few other things. We got National Lemon Meringue Pie Day today, so we're working on getting our pie together. I've got the pie dough rolled out and freezing in the freezer. I've got the filling done but not cooked. It's just mixed together. I got to cook the egg to thicken it up. And I got to do the meringue still. I've had the beef in my immersion circulator here since around this time yesterday. Oh, it was before 5. So, a little before an hour before now, yesterday. So it's seen more than 24 hours now. Cooking at 165. Which is not the softest fall apart you can get them. I actually want to try and do the other batch that I have. I have 2 packs of these that I got with anyone new in here. I have a chest freezer right here. So I buy large bulk orders of meat from reputable producers. Many of them very local to me. Right now I'm working through about a quarter steer that I bought from a local vineyard, or not a vineyard, a local farm here in Sonoma. And so I'm doing the first of 2 packages I got out of that of short ribs in here tonight. The other one I want to try and do longer. Like I've heard, like, I've done 48 hours before. I want to try like the 70 or 72 hour ones. But this should still have some thickness to it. Should not be all completely broken down. More of a steak consistency than your, fall apart just sitting in gravy sauce one. We've got a really fruity, really sort of dark fruit Merlot here. This might work nicely for dinner tonight. This is sort of like... I was tempted to get a Zinfandel for tonight, because, I mean, we need some heavy fat cutting power here. And I just decided I just wanted something a little bit more fruity tonight. And so went Merlot. Okay, let's see what we got here. Turn the oven on here for our pie. Get started with that loveliness. And while that's warming up, I'm going to cut up some potatoes with our mashed potatoes. These things are so small. So teeny weeny potatoes. Those are russets. Why did I buy this bag? Gonna lose half the weight from... Hey, Shar! Welcome in. Gonna lose half my weight here just peeling these things. I might not even actually peel these either. I normally like to peel russets when I'm doing mashed potatoes with russets. I think I'm just gonna skip peeling them tonight. How you been, Shar? Don't get to see you much lately since our fellow streaming friend has not been around lately. Yes, most of the nutrients are in the skin, and the thing is I don't typically work with russets. I normally don't skin my potatoes for much of anything, but when I work with russets, I do. I'm gonna skip that tonight, though. Let's see what we got going on over here with this other little patch. No, it's just in the skin. But I am gonna cut them up relatively small here, so that I don't have to worry about big pieces of skin in my final piece. Couple close ones there, guys. Definitely sounds Italian still. Well, let's see what that is. So many C words. Oh, there we go. It's a method of cooking fish. Cooking fish in paper. or in parchment, which isn't really paper, but most people don't know the difference anymore. Nice, Charlene. Anyone else got any gardening hero stories? I haven't been able to do much of a garden this year. Which one is that, Charlene? KFC coleslaw has previously won my ingredient challenge here, so I had to do a dinner and dessert. The dessert was pretty much a fail. Were you referring from that, Charlene? I think you were around for that. Yes, yes. We have our next week's Discord vote going on here in the Discord. There we go. Looking like Venison's gonna win there. I just love this GIF. Like, you know he was doing it for the ladies that used to watch him, but at the same time using it for this, that look that he has, it's just like this knowing look. It's just like, yeah. Good question, Sarbear. But if you have your own suggestions that you'd like to add, you're welcome to join in the Discord. And over here in the ingredient suggestions, just below that, we have all the other ones that people have suggested. And whichever ones from this list have the most votes on them, then make their way over to this one. And whoever wins the duel here, I have to cook dinner and dessert with. So I have to figure out some way to cook venison as a dessert, which could be a bit rough. Starting to smell that oven behind me here. I'm going to turn the fan on. And red skin potatoes have been on that list for quite a while. But that's what I do here on Wednesdays. We hold a weekly vote in Discord, and whatever ingredient viewers come up with, I have to use. Fridays and Sundays, I'm just here having fun. I originally started to stream a little over 2 years ago, going to the farmers markets here in Sonoma County, and the major farmers markets here, which are year-round, are on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And so I just thought it was easy, go to the market, pick up a few things that catch my eye, cook dinner that night, and film it. I was already basically doing that. I was already cooking in batches and taking photos of what I was cooking. I'm just adding cameras and getting to chat with you folks now. Okay, we got that one locked up for that, so we got to use this over here. Candied venison. I haven't even researched if venison is available to me yet. I know where to look in the county to find it if it's available. Do you think I could cut down the sugar by using apple cider vinegar instead of regular vinegar? Well, the problem with vinegar is you're going to add sugar in really in either regard when you're adding vinegar. It's not really a sugar at that point, but it's going to add calories. Either way. The reason is that alcohol has a fair amount of sugar. I mean, per gram, alcohol has the same calorie count as pure fat, I think. They're in the same ballpark, at least. I can't remember if it's 9 or 7 or... And... So, when you make vinegar, you're then... Well, first you make wine out of it, in some form, where you allow yeast to consume the sugars and turn them into alcohol. But they're still sugars, they're just in alcohol form. And then you go and have the bacteria, or the mother of your vinegar, then go and take that wine and that alcohol and turn it into vinegar. So it's still calories yet again. It's just been transformed by another animal. Wow, that's one heck of a bruise in that piece of garlic. It's like taking out that whole head of garlic. We'll add this to the taters. Heat's on the potatoes. Starting to cook those. Let's start to cook our pastry shell while we're here too. We got our now nicely frozen pastry shell that we're gonna go straight from freezer to stove with, or oven with. We're going to use 2 pieces of parchment here. Just go with it, Charlin. You only live once. A lot of people have beans, they have special metal weights, they have special tools for doing their blind baking. My special one is used rice. I say used as in that I've used it for baking like this many times already. But, so it's got a bunch of butters and oils and stuff like that all baked in there. But that's what's going to hold our pie shell in place. Even though it's sort of frozen in place right now to begin with. So this is going to go in the oven just like this. Doing garlicing with the potatoes like that, you have to be okay with a little bit. You get a little bit of that like raw garlic flavor there, and so it's going to be a little bit harsher doing it the way that I'm doing it here than say the way most people are going to add garlic to their potatoes is they're going to heat up some. Well, the way the restaurants all do it is they're going to add in cheap oil instead of butter, and so the butter the oil they'll then infuse and cook the garlic in the oil and just toss all that in when they mash the potatoes. This is sort of my lazy at home method. You cook the garlic, but you still get, because it was just boiled, you still get a little bit of that rawness, a little bit of that roughness. Yep. Garlic's better with... Everything's better with garlic. Everything's better with chocolate, garlic, and bacon. Or at least one of them. And if none of those things will improve the dish, if alcohol doesn't improve it, you should just throw it out. One of the things that I always do, and I've blown a couple of people's minds with that, is I'll use a lemon or lime more often. I use lime more than lemon. And I'll even zest it and I'll juice it, but I'll still throw the leftovers of that lime or lemon in with my rice, and it'll flavor the whole thing. And it does an amazing job at doing so. Let's see how long we need to leave that crust in there. We need to start getting cooking here too, but We'll give that 20 minutes, see how that looks. Okay, I want to have a bowl ready for my meringue. And I want a whip ready for with it. I'm going to switch over to the stove here and move our potatoes off the side burner. And we're going to take our lemon mixture that I made earlier on stream. We're going to start warming that up. Let's use the larger whisk for this. And so this is lemon zest, the juice, lemon zest to 3 lemons, 2 lemons of juice, 3 egg yolks, 2 whole eggs, salt, sugar, and we're melting the butter into it as we cook the eggs. Nice, PB&Js. Good time. Yeah, let's back you off over here a little bit more. There's a fair amount of butter in here. What is it? I think it's about six tablespoons. About 3/4 of a stick. I mean, we're making pie. It's not going to be a healthy experiment. Oh yes, there's much more in the pot. I was saying before, we've got zest of 3 lemons, juice of 2 lemons. We've got 2 whole eggs, another 3 egg yolks, and then the butter. So the butter is certainly not all that's there. And process here is we're just heating it up to cook those egg yolks while continuing to mix. I'm gonna have to wait a minute here on that battle until this thickens up, because I have to keep stirring this. This is going to be our lemons layer of our pie. As it's not going to be that clean, clear gel, lemon you see at the commercial ones. I'm not straining it. I'm not using clear gel as a thickener. We're thickening it with actual eggs here. It's sort of funny how people can, I remember, lemon meringue as having that perfectly clear, yellowy layer. And, you get accustomed to it. It's what you were used to. And then you get older and you realize, oh, they're cutting corners. They're being cheap. They're putting lemon flavoring or citric acid in there and just thickening it. using some clear starch like clear gel. We're using real lemons here. Cream of tartar does not belong in here. It belongs in here when I do my egg whites. See, we're starting to thicken up here a little bit. And it happens pretty quickly because you're just bringing the eggs up to temp, and once the eggs are up to temp, they're up to temp and they're cooked and they're thick. Okay, heat off. Bring that over here. And wonder where I put my trivet. So now we got our thickened lemon curd. It's essentially what this is. This is lemon curd. It's not how I would normally make lemon curd, but it's lemon curd. Yep, we're going to do that, but we're going to do that over here once we get this mixture all together. Now our next step is to wait here a couple minutes on our pie. On our crust. It's stuck to this pole. How many egg whites do we need? 3 egg whites. Let's start getting that ready while we're waiting on the other stuffs. Oh my gosh, I have a recipe where I have leftover yolks. That happens? That happens? Nice, Shar. Oh, I certainly can, sir. I made mayo on Wednesday, I think. Certainly can do that. I got lucky there that yolk broke on me. But broke on me pretty much entirely out of the whites. Sorry. There's some shorter ones in there. They don't get much shorter than 5. There's a couple of 4s in there. But they're all going to be food related. And multiple languages. Do you know that eggs are really not solidly... There is a little bit of like a skin here, but it's actually more like it's been, the liquid of the yolk has been wrapped in the skin. You can actually sort of see it slightly right there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Yeah, you can see the stress coming off of that line. It's almost like it's wrapped in plastic wrap. It's more, it's less that it's actually. Come on, Twitch. That was not an issue, Twitch. We're in an adult chat room here, or an adult stream. Battle. I forgot the battle here. Let's do our battle. Oh yeah, Sarvar. I've tried to do, I tried to set my title once to cream pie for making an actual cream pie on stream. Twitch wouldn't let me use it in any form. Victory. McMargo sweeping up those kills yet again. Don't chase me, helping out with the assists. The Hamash and Entropy walking away with those scrolls as rewards. Congrats, lovely folks. Couple goodies for me. Continue on towards the boss here. Okay, so we got our egg whites now for our meringue. We want a bit of super fine or powdered sugar. Do I have that in here? Doesn't look like it. Do I have that in here? Again, why is it doing this horrible recipe? We're back into doing tablespoons again. Measure sugar. Like, it's not a small number of I mean, it's 6 tablespoons, too. Charlotte. Yeah, you're one of those snipers on this scramble, aren't you? Yep, Sarver. I think that's enough cream of tartar. How close are we getting on our... Another 5 minutes on our blind baking of our shell. I'm gonna get started on whipping this. This is gonna take me a sec. I certainly do a fair amount of whipping on this stream. My arm wouldn't have near the workouts that it has if I had myself a stand mixer. Of course, that would make things a lot noisier for you folks, too. Been planning on buying one for, like, since the beginning of COVID. I've been procrastinating on it. I did. Didn't go anywhere. I had it as my channel goal from like last year, like something like October to December or something like that. So okay. I'm going to let my arm rest, and we'll come back to that. We got at least another 10 minutes after this is done, because we do want to put this meringue on this lemon curd while the lemon curd is still warm, but we're about to put this whole thing in the oven, so this curd's going to get warmed up a little bit more. So that's going to be another 10 minutes or so in the oven. Let's take a look at this and see how our crust is looking. It's looking like a crust. Let's wrap up these eggs and put these in the fridge. I've gotten to the point where I don't even care about egg whites, but I'll save egg yolks. I'll use those. And throw those in pasta. Also going to cut the heat on the potatoes here. They've been boiling and bubbling for a while. I'm certain the potatoes are cooked through, especially as small as I cut them. We'll just leave it there and let it stay warm until we're ready with our beef. Well, sous vide, the translation of sous vide from French to English essentially means boil and bag. As far as modern terms, sous vide usually means using an immersion circulator, which is what this guy up here in the back here, sort of hidden by my camera here. How can I show that to you folks? Switch to the main. It's still blocking it. But if you Google immersion circulator, or if you look up them, it's essentially a small little tool that takes this container of water, or any container of water. You can do it in a pot. You can do it in... I just have this piece of plastic set aside specifically for doing this. It keeps the water that I have in here to 1/10 a degree. It keeps it constant, which is the major thing about this. It'll keep it constant to 1/10 of a degree, and then it circulates the water. And so the ribs here have been in 165 degree water cooking for 24 hours. It's a little like a modern slow cooker. It's essentially, you know, if you do the same thing you're going to do in a slow cooker, and then sealed it in one of those bags. The major benefit, and especially for restaurants, is that you can leave it in there and not really worry about when you're taking it out, because it's holding it at the same temperature. And so you can do a whole bunch of things like hollandaise. You can pre-make hollandaise, have it in the bags, and just chilling in the immersion circulator. Whenever you want to make a hollandaise, you just pour it into the blender, get a blend, you got your hollandaise to your service. Or you can have, you know, in the case of most fine dining, you have short ribs in a fair number of fine dining restaurants. That's because of immersion circulators these days. They can put them in an immersion circulator, just wait for an order. They're great for veggies too, but I don't use them for that a lot because it's on a small home scale, it's a little wasteful. But they're great for cooking veggies in all sorts of forms if you want to be very precise in how you're cooking your asparagus. Something like that. They're great for eggs. Like, I mean, you want that perfect egg every single time. You want that runny yolk with a cooked egg white. You know, you can do... They have charts that, you know, you set it at this temp, you're going to get this egg. Or you can be like I was before. I used to take my eggs, boil them for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Same as like a normal 3-minute egg. It would be a completely runny egg. But you'll set the whites, and then you can put them in there. Because the problem with a lot of things with the eggs, immersion circulators, is when you cook that yolk to that perfect temp, your whites aren't quite set. They need a bit more heat. I would not suggest that, no. First off, because whatever bag they're selling it in is probably cheap plastic, is not going to taste good. But if you put them in a food safe bag and did that, absolutely. And I've sort of emulated it in the past doing, if you go to, is it the first one on my page? Let me see if it's the first image on my page. Yes. If you go to chefjt.com, the first photo on there of a piece of fish on the dish there, I attempted to do sous vide at home. That was my first attempt at doing sous vide in any form. Where I took a piece of fish in a giant pot of water, and I sat there and tried to regulate the temperature using the stove rather than a proper immersion circulator, and came up with that. It was a perfectly flaky, perfectly cooked, but extremely soft fillet of fish, and I cooked it with the butters and the oil and all that's in the sauce that was right there. And so, you know, sort of like slow cooking things, you can set it and forget it. You can put a fillet in there with some butter and some herbs. You already got your sauce, you got everything. You just pour it on a plate, you're done. Let's pull our shell out here now. See where our blind bake is at. Got a little light color there. It's not brown, but it's a little color. I can see that yellow is the butter is starting to turn. So we're actually gonna pull that off of the cutting board, put that there, and carefully put that there. We need to pull this rice up off of here. That was not what I wanted. That's got stuff in it. Let's use the bowl. Yeah, the whole idea is that it's essentially like boiling without actually being in the water, because the plastic without any air in the bag is going to act as a insulation, and so anywhere that there's air, it's not going to cook evenly compared to the rest of it. And so quite often, I'm not using a vacuum sealed bag here. I'm using a bag that I use the water displacement method for. But you want to remove as much air as you can if you're doing sous vide. Oh, that's not good. Boo! Boo! Oh, rice. We're gonna cheat in another way. Make use of this other half of the dough that I didn't use. Man, that's annoying. It looked like it had good bake going around the edges here, too. Yeah, that's the worst fail that I've had in quite a while here on stream. I had someone ask me the other night if I had any big fails on stream, and I've had a couple, but I sort of feel like I'm going to do a few more than I've had, actually. But I thought I was past this part of this menu. Guess not. I don't know that I've had a pie dough recipe be this loose and crumbly before, though. I mean, it's what you want, but maybe too much. Not really. I only really have my one rolling pin. It's more of a personal preference thing than I would think than anything else. I mean, if you're doing specialized things, certain ones are going to be better than others. This is more of a French style rolling pin where you can use the tapered ends to help roll differently than you would. But the way I typically use it, it's not much of a benefit to me. Probably do better with just a perfectly round pin. You still got our oven on? No, it doesn't say that it's still on. Nope. Make sure our oven's on there. Yeah. And then and I didn't really get much rice out of that at all from before, so I don't think I'm even going to bother with the rice this time around. I don't need anything. I'd much rather it form a proper seal in there. Hey, Oppo! I don't know that I have shard. There is certainly a difference between the different varieties. I probably wouldn't use a plastic one, although it's probably arguably the most sanitary. Marble's gonna draw heat out of whatever you're working with, so that's gonna be good for something that you want to keep cold, or if you want to cool something down, you can roll it using a marble one. Though you don't want to do something extremely hot too, because depending on your piece of marble, you might break your marble. And wood is just general good purpose. It should be relatively germ-free. How you been, Oppo? Been a minute since I've been able to see you. I've been able to visit very handsome Billy's stream recently because I've been going to bed too early. Nice to see you. That too, Sarbear. Thank you. But they're great if you're working with candy or working with chocolate. You want something you're working temperature sensitive. Marble is, probably more than you need to bother with, but sort of like top of the line. If you want to be fine dining, you want to have the right tool for the right job, be able to do that. That's when you get that marble rolling pin. I'm gonna throw this back in the oven and see if we can't rescue this. Of course, that means we got another 15 minutes or so. Wait for that to cook. Sure glad I messed up the recipe twice. Still looking like it's turning out okay. Okay. And for anyone just joining in, we already got our lemon filling waiting here. We just had a little bit of a disaster with the crust, and so we're doing a little fixing action there on our crust. A little emergency repair job. Hopefully it turns out alright. No one saw that. Nice, Oppo. Yeah, I've started, my streams here, I wrap up and I'm basically going to bed these days. I'll eat dinner, I'll clean up a little bit, and then it's bedtime. I've been trying to get to bed by 9:30 Pacific time. Trying to keep myself on somewhat of a schedule, if only to keep myself from feeling like a sloth. Oh, this Merlot is kicking it. I'm really liking this. But we got that and that going. Let's set a timer for this so we actually know how long we're cooking this. Potatoes are ready. Let's go with our beef here. Let's take our beef out of the immersion circulator here. So here's our beef. The thing with immersion circulators is that this beef is now perfectly cooked, but it's now very likely somewhat gray on the outside, or not very beautiful, because it hasn't had that direct heat of having been directly heat. It hasn't had the outside caramelization / Maillard reaction going on. We just have cooked beef right now. And I think I want to save as much of the liquid here as possible. I'm running low on pots here tonight. So I'm going to pour off as much of this liquid as possible into one of my cast irons here. And how am I going to roast these? I need a nice, small... Let's do it on a sheet pan. No, we're doing what's called the reverse sear tonight, where we now have our meat, our short ribs, properly cooked, falling apart, falling off the rib here. Carefully, trying to keep them together. And so these are going to go under. These are going to get seared by going underneath the broiler in my oven after we're done with our cake here, or our pie. And then this delicious liquid here, I'm going to reduce down. We're okay with these setting out like this because we want them to dry, cool off a little bit. Some people actually advocate throwing them in the refrigerator and the freezer slightly before you do your reverse sear, so you don't bring them over your final temp when you sear them. But we're just going to let these hang out in the air. I got a fan blowing here, so they're going to get a little air moving over the top of them. Okay. This is reducing down. We need to make a slurry for this. I'm not going to do a roux, but I will do Vermonte. Or I'm probably... Is it Vermonte? Anyways, we're going to thoroughly hand mix this butter with flour, like if we were making a roux basically, but completely coating the flour in the butter, making a little bit of a mess here in the cutting board. And then we're going to use this to thicken our gravy instead of, say, a cornstarch or... Nice, Char. Now, do you add worms to your corns? Or do you just leave them be for the bugs? Some of the farms that I know of that grow corn, what they do is they purposely add cornworms to the top of their ears of corn, and they'll eat a little bit of the top of the corn, but they will then protect the corn from anything else wanting to chomp down on it. So this I'm going to now whisk into our sauce. This is a nice combination. It's all soft, but the flour in this has all been completely mixed in with the butter, so we're not worried about that raw flour that you need to worry about when it comes to a roux. Dirty there. Dirty, dirty. Do I have no clean whisks? All I have is my baby whisk. We'll live with our baby whisk. You can't even see what I'm doing over here. Why don't you follow me over here to the main burner here on the stove as I mix this Bermonte, as my horrible memory remembers it as. Tassels from the corn placing directly in the silks. Now, see that I don't know. Like, I don't know a lot about corn. You can already see this is taking form here with this sauce here. It's not up to a boil, so it hasn't completely thickened yet. But it's already got a little bit of that gloss from that butter. Butter's already doing its goodness. Sauce is also looking a bit more uniform, but that's probably equally as much from me stirring it so much. I'm going to give that another couple of seconds. Okay, we'll just continue to let that cook, thin down, and I'll give that a strain when we're ready to go with our beef. Let's see how our patched up pie shell is looking here. We're ready to go with that now. Okay, patched pie shell. Not fixed, but better. There's actually a bottom to that shell now. Give us one good shake up last of the lemon curd here. Try and get any last little bit of lumps out. That is now going into our warm pie shell. Now this goes back in the oven for another 10 minutes while we finish our meringue for on top. So back to whipping here. So we're soft peaks now. Ooh, battle's ready. Let's do our battle real quick. Apologies, I missed that. Let's see how we do on this level. Wowza. So many enemies. One point they were almost 3-1 there. We're down to less than 2-1 now. We gonna win this? I think we got this. Victory. Jahaj and McMargo helping out with the kills and assists there. Entropy getting that 50 gold. The Hamash getting the scrolls. Boss level. I'm just gonna put my warrior out there. Let everyone else figure out what to do. Sort of surprised that it didn't thicken up a little bit more than it did. It's like a Dairy Queen curl. See if I can show that. Oh, you can sort of show that in stream. I think we're pretty much there as far as how thick I need to get these. It's holding its shape. Lastly, we need some... We're going to throw these in the refrigerator now because we're done with these now, I think, but... we need some sort of milk and cream function here for our potatoes. Or milk and butter or something. So I'm going to take some butter, some half and half, and warm that up on the back burner there behind the potatoes. A small little pan. butter half and half. Let's throw a couple stock cubes in there. I showed this on Twitter, but I've frozen chicken stock, so not beef, but chicken stock into cubes that I can then just drop into sauces, what have you. In this case, I'm going to throw this half one and this one in with our cream and butter for our potatoes. Our sauce is starting to nicely thicken up there. You can see some thicker, more meaningful bubbles there on the sauce. Nice. Yeah, that's sort of a what is it? The Atkins diet? No, it's not Atkins. Diet when you cut out all the carbs and you survive on fat. Forget the name of that diet. A lot of people do that. Like they'll take coconut oil or other things like grass-fed butter and cocoa or chocolate and freeze them and do fat bombs as their idea of a quick snack thing. But that's for those people that are trying to remove all the carbs from their diet. Coconut oil is an interesting product. I don't do much coconut because I'm actually allergic to coconut. Or I don't know if I'm actually allergic to coconut, but I know I've had bad reactions to it in my life. And so I actually even remove the oils from coconut oil is in all sorts of shampoos and stuff like that too. And conditioners. And I've even cutting it out of that. But it's one of the few ingredients that I've been like, yeah, I'm just not touching that. Yes, more wine. More wine. Our pie's got to be getting close here. That's a bit hotter than I intended that to be. We're going to turn that back burner down a bit more. There we go. There is our pie. Ready for some meringue. You do want to add the meringue to this while it's warm, because that warmth is going to immediately cook those eggs and somewhat seal it down so that you don't get as much as that weeping issue. We're hoping that I don't get any of that issue actually tonight. Who wants a weeping pie? So it's going to be similar to the last one I did here. Just going to do a sort of ripple pattern over the top with the okay. You do want to create as many peaks and valleys and interesting stuff here as you can. I just like keeping it somewhat uniform because you get those nice valleys, and you'll see what I mean. If you've seen my last one that I made last year, I celebrated this last year too. Turned out very nice and even over the top, although it still had those peaks and valleys. So that's what we're hoping for here tonight. Okay. Back in the oven for about 10-15 minutes here. Might as well add a bunch of seasoning in here with this. Our sauce is starting to look pretty lovely there. We need a fair amount of salt in with this butter and cream and stock. A little MSG. And some black pepper. Hey, Charlene. Come on, grinder. As you can see, that sauce is starting to look nice. It's actually thickened up quite a bit here. I think I'm gonna give this a good whisk up here and probably cut the heat on this now. Heat's off on that now. Alright, where are we at with everything else? We got another 7 minutes on our pie until I can show you that deliciousness. And until we can get our beef in there to do its finishing fun stuff. So I'm gonna have a sip of wine and say, hey, what are you guys doing special for your Sunday? What's new? What's happening? What's the gauntlet this week, Opa? Right after that adorable peak. Not quite sure what that... Monthly? That's actually probably good. Can turn it into a big event. Ooh, when does pesto due? I could maybe do that next Friday. Did I set up something for next Friday? I didn't. It's National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day next Friday. So maybe we'll do pesto and chocolate pecan pie. Of course, we also got Pecan Torte Day on Sunday next week. But yeah, that's sort of sounding like a winner. I think we're gonna have to probably do that. I might as well just set that in stone right now. Is that actually working for me here? There we go. Yeah, so let's do that. Awesome. So that's what we're doing on Friday. Four and a half minutes. Oppo, if you want the link, you can add the whole calendar. It's down in my About section under Who Is This Guy. And I'll add my calendar in there. I'll let you know all my streaming days. I normally have a couple of months planned ahead. I've been procrastinating lately. I went on vacation the beginning of July. And since July, I've been sort of procrastinating on getting my schedule back together. That's something I gotta do here. And so we'll have some upcoming dates here in the future. But right now, it's just let you know when I'm gonna be on. Nice, Charlene. Sorry I missed you there for a second there. Yeah. So we got the pie in the oven now, since you might have missed that. Got our sauce looking lovely here. This is going to need to be strained though. So let's strain our sauce. Nice little coat of spoon. It's not hugely thick for a sauce, but decent enough. Oops. There you can see it. So it's pulling clear. Have I ever cooked watermelon? I have not. That I can remember. I know I've done watermelon ice cream. I know I've pickled watermelon rind. Watermelon rind didn't turn out right. That didn't work well. Should probably try that again. But I don't think that I've ever cooked it. I also don't have a proper, like I was telling you before, I used water displacement for sealing my bags. Which, if you're unfamiliar with that, instead of using your vacuum sealer like you got, you can in turn just dump the whole bag into water other than one little corner and seal it up and remove as much water as possible, because the water is going to force all that air to the top. Does basically the same thing as the vacuum. It's not going to be as good. But one of the things you can do if you have, especially if you got a chambered vacuum packer, which is really why I don't have one, is I want a chambered vacuum sealer, but those are more like 700 to 1500. But with one of those, with a chambered vacuum sealer where you can control the pressure and everything, you can compress watermelon. And that is something I really want to try. That's supposed to be amazing. There's several fruits that you can use vacuum packing to compress. And therefore, like, just make it that much more potent, being the same thing. Difference between a sauce and a gravy. For me, the major difference is the gravy is coming from some sort of cooked dish. Like, you're using the drippings off of something to create the gravy. A gravy is a sauce, but I wouldn't say that all sauces are gravies. That's also an international thing. I mean, red sauce or red gravy to an Italian, tomato sauce to us in the U.S. Let's see, did we burn our meringue? No, we didn't. That's looking pretty. Let's move this wine out of the way so I don't ruin that. I think I'm going to give that another maybe 2 minutes. One side got a little darker than the other side when I started pulling it out, and so I was like, yeah, we'll give that another minute. One protein for the rest of your life. Now that's a tough one. I'd probably put pork because of just how many things you can do with pork. Someone asked me the other day what my favorite protein was, and that would probably be duck. I do love meat. I only do it once or twice a year, and the price is probably making it somewhat special in that I don't have it all the time, but I absolutely love duck with how meaty and irony that is while still being a fallow meat. All the fat is delicious on it, whether you're using it with the meat or you're cooking something else in it. I mean, texture-wise, it's similar to a chicken, but it's got a lot more iron in the meat, and so it's a much richer meat. It's a much darker, redder meat. So it's closer to beef, or it isn't beef. I mean, it's a bird, but the flavor of the meat is closer to beef than I would say it is closer to chicken. Texture-wise, it's closer to chicken. Baked beans, green bell pepper, nice. But I mean, you can do so many things with pork. Whether you're doing the fat, or you're doing the meat, or All of it. It's just delicious. And for anyone new into the stream, we're not doing a bunch of pork right now, but a little over a year ago, I harvested or butchered a whole whole pig here on stream, minus the head and offal. I bought 2 halves, and so there's been a lot of pork on this stream in the last year. Right now, we're working on beef. May add to that here in the future. But that's looking like a nice pie. What do you folks think? I think that worked out right for a meringue, lemon meringue. Get a photo here with my knife in there. So we're going to let that sit. I'm not going to cut into that. I'll have a photo of what it looks like up on the Instagram after it cools down. But from here, you got to let this sit outside for at least an hour. I would say probably 2 hours, maybe even 3. And you want to allow it to completely come to room temp altogether. You're sort of playing this game here. You wanted to get the egg whites or the meringue on the lemon while it's still warm. So seal the lemon. Now we're wanting it to all cool down together, sort of slowly together, so that those egg whites don't pull away. Because what happens here is the egg whites will continue to constrict as they cool down. And they will constrict not only in size, but they will then bead up. You'll get those traditional little bubbles you get like syrup on top of your lemon meringue. We're going to try and prevent that weeping by allowing it to sit out here warm. Oh, I don't normally... I don't hide the towels from my pictures, but I don't normally force the towels in the photos. I just mostly make sure that I have my knife in all my photos, because that way my name is all in all the photos, and I don't have to go back and then watermark everything that, oh, hey, this is mine. It also, don't have to worry about copyright marks and stuff like that. That way, I mean, legally I probably could need to, but my name's there. Yes, it does need to congeal. Well, it's probably mostly congealed. We did that earlier. We already thickened the egg yolks. We gave it a little time in the oven on top of that. But we'll let that hang out there on the counter for a little bit. And in the meantime, we need to change our oven over to broil. And we need to raise our rack up to the top level here. And we're going to put our beef in there, which we still have our immersion circulator cooked beef. Just needs to be seared. We're going to put that underneath that broiler. Start a 10-minute timer there. And while that's working, we'll strain our potatoes. Oh, don't worry. I made a perfectly big fool of myself the other night. After drinking and stream all night, I went into another stream and promptly put my foot in my mouth. Let's do our final battle tonight. Try and cover as much of us with haste here. We're a little spread out here. I think these people are going to have to walk around this. Uh-oh. My warrior's looking rough. I don't know if he's going to survive this battle. Boo. I got knocked out. Oh, wow, we're losing a lot of people here. We going to win this? This will be a tough battle. Woohoo! Tough victory. Victory. There's Margot helping out with those kills. Jerahina helping out with the assists. Tomia getting the reward. Boss defeated. Goodies for me. And new map for us to start on Wednesday, when I'm probably going to be doing venison. But we got our mashed potatoes here. We'll pull those off to the side here. See how our beef is looking. Starting to get there. So for dinner tonight, how are we plating this tonight? I think we're gonna pull out one of the salad bowls tonight. Maybe you aren't because it's dirty. Nope. If you need to keep it as pasta just by itself, what I'll often do is toss it with a little bit of oil, a little light oil, maybe even spray oil on the outside of it. Spray oil typically tastes horrible, but if you're using like a pump sprayer, little olive oil, just toss it in the bowl, let it hang out. I would never rinse it after cooking it. I wouldn't even rinse it. I think I've seen people do that for like cold salads and stuff like that. I wouldn't even do it for that. I also typically, if I'm doing fresh pasta that I made myself, I still use a big pot of boiling water, like I did on Friday for the ravioli. But if I'm doing dried pastas, like bought from the store, I don't even use a ton of water anymore. I use 1.2 pounds of water for 1 pound of pasta, and just cook it like rice. You just need to boil it, basically. This needed a bit more mash, and I think we'll be okay. I'll live with it. We burning beef down here yet? Ah, we're looking lovely. Yep. You'll maybe have a little bit of water left, but you can use that to thicken your sauce. You can pull the pasta off of it. But if you nail it, if you're used to it, use the same pasta over and over, you can be 100% not even worry about it. I'm going to take 2 of those short ribs, them nicely sealed under the burner now. Let's drizzle a little this deliciousness over the top of those. I didn't get any chives. I was going to throw some chives on top of that. Do I have any green onion left? None that's visible. Anyways, a little green on there would be awesome. But otherwise, that is dinner. We got our short ribs with mashed potatoes. And we've got our lemon meringue. Let's see if I can pick this up. It's a bit warm. But let's see if we can't get a proper main view of this deliciousness for everyone. You want some pie? I know I do. Take a photo of this and I'll show you folks that too. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for joining me, everyone. So as I mentioned before in Discord, we have our current battle going on between venison and red skin potatoes. Looking like it's going to be venison here on Wednesday. So, going to have to use venison to cook with dinner and dessert. So, it should be an interesting dessert here on Wednesday. Should be an interesting dinner. I don't do a lot with venison either. But, so that's Wednesday. As always, we have these future votes. You can make your own suggestions in the ingredient suggestions channel by joining into the Discord. And we'll start another vote here next Wednesday with the stream. I'll close this up sometime tomorrow if you still have if you think you can rally the troops for potatoes. Let's see who we can give a raid to tonight. Wow, my hand's hurting like I burnt my hand. I don't think I steamed it or anything. Not like seriously, like itchy hurting. Not like hurting. All sorts of options out there tonight. Let's go hang out with another food and drink streamer tonight. Someone that I have not raided before, have not had the chance to raid before either. We're gonna go hang out with Call Me Cheska. She's got a small little group of couple people watching her tonight. Another food and drink streamer. I hope you enjoy hanging out with her. I've had great fun hanging out with all of you tonight. I'm gonna go smash stuff all this in my face, make myself even fatter. I will be back here on Wednesday with the ingredient challenge. Until then, thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye now.